Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lovin Daily. It's a Friday, the end of the week, and before we get started, I just want to let you in on a competition we've got going on for the weekend. We're giving away a 2-night stay for 2 people at the 5-star Corinthia Palace Hotel at Tard with a complimentary dinner at Rickshaw. All you have to do is tag your friends in the comment section below for a chance to win. Before we get started, I'm joined by my co-host today, Chris Bergin. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about it being Friday. It's been a really long week, even like politics and all that stuff. So I'm tired and looking forward to the weekend.
Absolutely. Let's get straight into the headlines for today. We've got 5 exciting stories to let you in on. First, Therese Comodini Cachia will become opposition leader while Delia hangs on to PN leadership. Second, Gżira mayor is adamant to stop the relocation of a petrol station to the locality's only green space. Malta sees 20,000 movements in the first week of reopening its airport. San Juan resident feels unsafe in her own home after facing abuse from construction workers. And Malta's active cases of COVID-19 are down to single digits for the first time in months. Chris, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so Therese Comodini could become the next opposition leader if the MPs who have mounted a rebellion against Adrian Delia confirm with the president that they would like her to become opposition leader instead. So the president yesterday began meeting with the 17 or 19 MPs who have voted against Adrian Delia. We say 17 or 19 because 19 includes the MEPs who I don't think count for constitutional purposes. But now we're also hearing that some MPs could have changed their minds. We know that Adrian Delia is hanging on to PN leadership and saying that he's here to stay and the opposition leader must be the leader of the PN. So it's not quite clear what he's angling for here. It's certainly creating a much more painful process for the Nationalist Party. As we know, Delia has been polling extremely badly since he started. Who is Therese Comodini Cachia? We've got a profile about her on lovinmalta.com. Check it out to understand all the positions she's taken in the past. She's a former MEP, human rights lawyer. She's also a lawyer who represents the Daphne Caruana Galizia family as well. And she would be also Malta's first female opposition leader if things go down that route. So I think it's going to be an exciting day, an exciting couple of days to see what happens over there. What do you make of this, Jay? You don't love politics that much.
I'm not as politically involved as you are, Chris, but obviously as the drama unfolds, it's exciting to see what's happening. I mean, the fact that you mentioned it, should be the first female opposition leader, which I think is an exciting movement or kind of step for Malta as a country to have a female in this position. Again, I'm not that involved, but obviously Delia hasn't been doing so well in the polls, and SPN goes through just transitional phase. Be interesting to see what comes out. Lovin Malta will keep you updated as the day goes by, as the president meets with MPs with all the latest updates. Moving on to our second story, Gżira Mayor Conrad Borg-Manche is adamant to stop the relocation of a petrol station on the foreshore of Manuel Island to a nearby garden just 100 meters away. This is a complicated and a very interesting development, really. It's been going on since 1999, if you want to date it that far, with a wide-roading project in Gżira. And basically what the proposal is to move this petrol station 100 meters down the road to the Council of Europe's garden, which is the locality's only green space in Gżira. Gżira, we have to remember, is one of the most populated and most polluted areas in Malta. So the decision to move the petrol station 100 meters down the road to the only garden in the locality is proved highly controversial. And Conrad, who has been on the forefront of a lot of these kind of environment initiatives, is adamant to not see this happen. In fact, he'd rather not have this petrol station in Gżira at all, because the locality already has 3 other petrol stations, and if this had to move 100 meters down the road, it would put 4 petrol stations within 500 meters of each other. So the local council has appealed the decision, and they'll be taking it further. What do you think about this, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's really great to see Conrad Bourges-Monche once again, fighting a plea for the residents. We know that he was very active in the case of trying to get public access to Manuel Island. And yeah, good luck to him. Obviously, I don't know how difficult this is going to be in terms of planning regulations and business interests, because let's not forget there are business interests there involved in the petrol station. So we'll follow this and see how it goes. Meanwhile, moving on to the next story, yesterday we got to know that in the first week of Malta reopening its airport, 20,000 movements have been registered at the airport. Now that might sound like a good number, but just to put it into some context, last year in July we had 800,000 passenger movements. So in a week you would expect 200,000. So we're looking at 10% of the traffic that we were used to from last year. Also yesterday the airport revealed that for the first half of this year Malta has registered 1 million passenger movements. Again, that might sound like a good number, and especially considering the COVID lockdown. So it's clearly, January and February are pretty decent, because then in March things started to close down. But again, 1 million in half of the year in 2020, where last year, 2019, Malta registered more than 7 million passenger movements throughout the year. So you're comparing the 1 million figure to about 3.5, 4 million almost. So obviously this is, it's good that there has been some movement. We hope that there will be more movement, and that, obviously in Malta, tourism and travel has a massive impact on our economy. So we need to watch this space and see how it develops as well.
Our next story is with regards to a San Juan resident who now feels unsafe in her own home after having dealt with verbal abuse and a physical assault, actually, an incident a couple of days ago with nearby construction workers. So someone reached out to Lovin Malta yesterday to tell a story on the incident, basically. And in short terms, what happened was there was a physical altercation between her father and a construction worker after the construction worker parked in front of their garage. And basically this construction worker brandished a hammer and threatened her father, eventually leading to a physical altercation. Thankfully, no one got hurt. So that's the good news. But obviously, it's worrying to hear the fact that, construction workers are, or in this case, the construction worker has gotten involved with a physical incident with a nearby family in San Juan. And this isn't the only isolated incident as well with regards to this family. There's also, the young woman has also come out saying she's faced verbal abuse from the construction workers nearby when she's been out on her balcony, saying that they've catcalled her. She's also, her younger siblings as well have faced some verbal abuse as well. So it's worrying to see that, this is happening, and it's led to a physical altercation as well. The issue of construction has always been a problem in Malta, especially in recent months. So to see that it's not just a construction site, but the construction workers that are causing problems is worrying too. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, Chris.
Yeah, I think the story had a big reaction online, so it's obviously very relatable. A lot of people feel quite anxious about construction in general, and then this adds to it. I think the story makes me think of Miriam Patch, who lost her life on a construction site as a result of construction in her home, and how someone like her had been complaining and worrying about the construction being done in her home, near her home, and if you add to that, the kind of intimidation or feeling threatened by the construction workers as well, then you can kind of see how sometimes maybe reports aren't filed. There is a culture of impunity, I think, and it's not so different in construction sites. Our last story of the day, some good news. Malta has Malta is down to single digits when it comes to active COVID cases. So for the first time in several months, we only have 9 active cases. That's thanks to 2 recoveries that were registered yesterday. There was also a new case registered yesterday, so that's one of the 9, which was a locally transmitted case, and it was asymptomatic. So, now we've seen the airport reopening, we've seen a lot of measures being lifted, we're seeing a lot of people partying and clubbing, and this weekend I'm sure we'll continue to see that. And yet the COVID numbers are pretty good in Malta, not so good in other parts of the world. I know America is really struggling with the numbers as well. So, but yeah, Malta seems to be doing well. So come visit.
Absolutely, safe country, safe travel country, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of hopefully gives a boost to our tourism industry, which we mentioned earlier has been struggling. That's all we have today. Before we leave you, I want to remind you of our competition we have. A very exciting one, a 2-night stay at the Corinthia Palace Hotel in Attard, as well as a complimentary dinner to Rickshaw. Have you ever dined at Rickshaw?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great Asian place. Check
Amazing. And all you have to do is tag your friends in the comment section below. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a day full of lovin'.